Mommy needs good
You want to say hi? You don't want to say hi? You walked right by. You just look how beautiful she looks.
No. Hi guys. This is fun, but probably not as fun as being at home in your pajamas.
We're so happy to see you guys. All your sisters are here. The girls are here. It's kombucha and stuff. Okay. Well, so we're gonna craft. Are you ready? Okay. I love the idea. I don't have a regular chalice. That I use all the time, really, because my crystal one breaks every time I use it. It's too much energy and I shatter it. So I need something like this because I can't shatter this. This is Sage Goddess Shatterproof. So this is the one I'm going to use for every ritual and everything from now on. So you're going to see me using it and you're going to be using yours and we're all going to be cheersing together with our mugs. I think that's really cool. So you have lots of fun. My Mala wants to come out of the bag and be part of what we're doing. So you come out here. Would you hand me the necklace that's there too, Cindy, that's next to you? It's wanting to come over here and be in the space too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Grandma. Okay. So a few things. So you guys will be very proud of us. We already have an altar set up. It took us about 5 seconds with hardly barely talking to each other before we put together an altar of stuff that is obviously part of the journey. So it's pretty cool. Okay. So, and they're all saying how much love they're sending to you. So it's really cool.
We send it back.
And it's all being sent back. That's right. You're getting a whole tidal wave of love from everybody who's here. So thank you for being present. Okay, so you've got chipstones, you have rhinestones, you have, this is my little plate of goodies that I'm working with. And this is meant to be fun. Don't go Martha Stewart on this, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. If you make it too perfect, you won't want to use it. That's what I always tell my kids. So you gotta intentionally kind of F it up a little bit so that you don't feel bad using it. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm projecting. That's how I feel about it. So does everybody have a little quartz point or piece or something like that? Yeah. Okay, so that's the first step. And so I want you to choose one that feels good to you. I've got a little tiny dude here who looks somewhat double terminated. There's a little twin one. So whatever feels right to you, just take a look at what's in your bag of tricks and choose a crystal that's going to hold the intention for the energies that you will hold while you're working with this chalice. Now, I'm going to put mine down the center of my flower of life, okay, because you want to activate that. Has anybody not worked with flower of life before as a symbol or in its meaning? So the flower of life is really interesting, okay? My first ayahuasca journey it was that was the whole journey. Because what she said was, you got to understand this first. This is where all life begins. This is where your crystal energy begins. This is where your DNA energy begins. So this shape right here, there's one of these in every crystal. Its own unique pattern of creation. When you journey, you see this between your fingers. It's the most beautiful thing. And you can pull it, and you go like this, and it moves back. But you can stretch energy and pull it. And the only difference between right this minute, right now, and journey is that in journey you can see it, and right now you can't. So like you might start to experiment with like sort of stretching your energy field. Like, what does that feel like? It's like a web between your fingers. Your energy field is right about, like for most of your body, at least in my experience, it's right at the maybe 2 inches outside just your primary energetic field. And that's where you can sort of pull. And then if you, in journey, what's really fun is to go like this and have someone else go like this, and their flower of life merges with your flower of life. Can you imagine having sex in that state? My flower of life sees your flower of life. Okay. So that's fun. That's fun to do. Okay, so that's what this shape is. This is the shape that you would see if the veil was thin enough for you to see it. And this is all of your body. It's in all of your crystals. It's in all of the plants. It's in your cats and your dogs, and everything has this. So you can activate the flower of life by taking a piece of quartz. This is what I do. And go to the center of the flower of life, right in the middle there, center spot, okay? And you're going to charge going clockwise. So let me show them first on the camera, and then I'll show you guys, okay? So you're going to touch the center of the flower of life and go to the top, outermost point. Back to the center to the next outermost. 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 Does that make sense? If you're following me in the room, just start going. If you want me to go back and show you, then you can wait for a minute. To the next outer point, 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 and back to the center. That activates your flower of life. You should see what it looks like when you're doing it in real time. It goes from being sort of flat to going fully dimensional when you activate it. And so it's like waking up the energy in that symbol, okay? Did you guys follow that online? That was like robo-gridding. Were you able to keep up with that? Okay. And so once you have it activated, did you guys follow it, what I was doing? Yeah. So again, it's center of the flower of life, and then out to the top point where the little leaves interconnect, and then back, and then out to the top point, and back and out to the top point, and back and out to the top point. That's how you activate any grid. Okay. And so then when you're ready, take your quartz point, and you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just sharing so that you know. And you're going to glue it so that the center of the quartz point covers the center of the flower. And the lovely thing about E6000 is, if it gets messy, you can just like bubble it up and knock it off, right? I mean, it like comes off your fingers, it comes off everything. Just the outer points, Heidi. I mean, if you want to be real thorough about it, you can activate the inner points too, but you don't need to. Once the outer points are activated, the whole thing is activated. And it lights up like a Christmas tree. So you just did that. Oop, look, I'm not going to do that anymore. Hold on. I'm not going to show you mine so much other than that, because otherwise my point's going to fall off till it's dry. Once it's dry, though, it's going to stay, which is pretty cool. So get it where you want it. And now from here, I'm going to talk, but you can just craft, because I want you to make your own chalice. So I don't want you to like copy mine. That's not art. That's a class project. But you know what I mean? That's like getting a grade. So to get an A, you have to make your own art. I'm going in. I have a little bit of sugilite I'm working with, a couple pieces, and I'm gonna add those. And I'm feeling like you just got to go with your intuition. I'm feeling like at the 3 mark and the 9 mark, because a lot of times when I'm using a chalice like this, I'm holding space for people, and oftentimes it's a healing space. So sugilite is just a good all-purpose healer. It really calms the central nervous system. And then I have a little bit of space around it with like kind of too much glue, so I'm going to take some of these little chips, like super tiny chips down at the bottom, and kind of tuck them in there, like filler, kind of. Which is kind, and then shake off whatever is left. Now you can go all Virgo on this, and I'm not advising it. I'm just saying you can, and start putting your little tiny rhinestones on all of the little dots and make it all Virgoed out. That doesn't appeal to me at all. So I'm just kind of tucking some of this, it's like quartz and kunzite kind of rough chip that some of you have in the bottom of your little bag, so I'm just adding a little bit of that. I'm going to do the other side and then I'll show you. And so as you're crafting, the difference between making this and going to Michael's on a Saturday when the nice lady's sitting there and you can work on her craft is the intention. So I want you to chit chat and have fun, but I also want you to be mindful, because the more intention you put into something, it's like everything else, right? The more you get out of it. Like your drive to work every day, what's your intention for that drive? It's still your time. It's still time that you could be doing work for the planet. Sometimes my intention driving to work is just that other people around me feel more peaceful because I'm there, so they don't feel as anxious as they're driving. Can you imagine if everybody held an intention like that? That everybody around them felt safe and comfortable? And it's like, and that's a good thing to do, because whatever intention you send out or send up, that energy comes right back to you. That's right. That's right. People, I really feel for people right now. They do not know how to hold these frequencies, you guys. It's half the time I feel like I don't know how to hold the frequencies, but this is a trip for people. And it's like, I think they expect aliens to just start falling from the clouds. It's just so weird for people right now. I'd be so happy if that happened. I'm waiting for it. I always tell everybody I know, I tell the same thing. If they come and you leave without me, I'm never going to speak to you again. And you tell them to wait, and you say, she's in Torrance, here's the address. It's okay, park over at the fire station. They know how weird we are. They won't mind. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of where I'm at. Whatever sign your Venus is in dictates whether you enjoy this or not. You know that, right? Gemini. So you might like it and you might not. Or you might like the first part and not the second part. Gemini gets tired easily. So there's kind of where mine is. All right, so I'm still working around, but do you see how I'm working with the flower life and then I'm not? Let's see kind of doing whatever. Because your little chip stones can kind of get tucked in around your other stones,
celestial quartz on it?
That's going to be a lot of E6000. But the answer is yes. What you could do, actually, if you wanted to do that, yeah. Well, I was thinking at the base, Norma.
What?
Norma,
you could put.
Norma has a phallic crystal. It won't surprise you. It's very phallic.
But it does have a hole too.
It does. It's not very big.
It's big enough.
It's big enough. How are you guys doing online? Are you having fun? I know. Jackie said it's not surprising, Norma. She is not surprised today. And I'm going to go in with some obsidian because that's a lot of the work I do too, is around releasing. Thank you, Jackie. A little bit of obsidian, and Ooh, Amazonite would be good, since I'm going to have this on my altar, right? Your Amazonite, because that's, you know, your voice and your truth and communication and all of that. I'm glad you guys are having fun with us. I have to tell you, like, and I'm sure you know this, being here and being where you are is very similar, because energy is energy. Would it be nice to have you here? Sure, but do you have to be here to get what we're getting out of this experience? No. No, you don't. Alright, so I'm going in with the additional Amazonite now, and so this is how I'm this is what it's coming together like. It is pretty if you add a little bit of purple something, amethyst, or you have something purple in your bag of tricks, because it picks up the color of the flower of life. But you don't need to. I think contrasting colors is nice too. I don't like that. Did not have the right vibration. Here we go. Ah, that's it. That's why there's a better piece. Okay, so the main pieces are on. I'm not like turning it upside down, because stuff started to fall off when I did that. But the main parts are on. And now I'm going to fill it in with just the crumbles. You know, so anything you have that's broken, that's all the fun filler. Oh, right on. So Liz has got more in the room.
I brought all my pieces.
You brought all your pieces, so that's awesome. Isn't that, like, so girls, this is like the payoff of keeping your chipstones, yeah?
Yeah.
Now you have like a playground. I'm feeling like peridot might be good. It's my birthstone, and it's really good for abundance. Peridot and epidote work the same way, but epidote comes with a caveat and peridot doesn't. Epidote brings more of what you have, and peridot brings more of what you want. And that's a really important distinction, because I always tell people, don't work with peridot or epidote when you're depressed. It's not a helper that way. Epidote's what you want to work with when everything's right where you want it, and you just want to blow it up and make it bigger. So there's my little peridots in there. That feels good. And then
Yeah, I used to live there. They're like,
If anybody needs like a specific chipstone,
Paulette's got a bunch of chipstones.
Paulette's got a treasure trove down there.
They're all labeled.
you are awesome.
I would love one. That sounds really nice.
These are personally mine. So.
Wow, thank you. That's an awesome offering. Okay. This one's rad. It's in Matrix. How cool is that?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
My husband liked it.
Wow. These are yummy.
Yeah, those are from the area where.
Oh,
Those
really?
are the last of those.
I found this little guy in there, and then a black something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Black something that looked good. Ooh, there's a really cool little one in here. And part of what I love with chipstones is like look at this guy. Looks like a little door, doesn't it? Agate. That's kind of neat. Looks like a little portal. I'm gonna put that on there. Okay. I'm gonna put Liz's perfumer that she gave me. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. I would play music right now, but I can't because of the law. I can't like record this for you and post it if it has other people's music. Yeah. Even though I don't think that the artist would mind, because we always try to give credit. But tis what it is. Okay.
Well, it would give me more.
So I'm filling in right now, going around and kind of just tucking the crumbles in because I like the look of that. A little quartz dirt. So just tucking in and filling around. Thank you, Jessica. It's the things you learn as you go. It's like, oh, we can't play music. Okay. I used to. Until I didn't. Yeah. Ooh, I want a beach art. How fun! Thank you. Will you choose one for me?
I did, because I was like, I don't know if my sisters are bringing because they're traveling.
Maybe.
You know what? I'm the same way. I always think, oh,
I have just been gifted a beach art.
that's so, yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna figure out where a good place for that little friend to go right now. Okay, so I'm gonna attach that to the bottom. So charms are fun. Buttons are fun to put on. Oh, look how sweet. It's like meant to be. Meant to be. Oh, Deb is playing music for us. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, darling. Thank you for helping us overcome the law. As all good sisters do. At one time or another. That's right. We're a powerful group of women. Yeah. I'm going to put a rhinestone on. I know it's a rhinestone, but I also do like things that are pretty. That feels cool.
You can go this way, Hannah. I won't go. I promise.
He's a sparkling wreath. He's so cute. Okay. A bit more quartz dirt going on. These are one of those times where having long nails is not necessarily a good thing. But it's also a lesson in like not trying to make things perfect, just letting them be natural and beautiful. And you know, one of the reasons that crafting is really important is, and we stop doing it after we're adults. It's almost like, oh, you're gonna make a craft. It's very healing. I mean, it's just so good for your soul. It's its own form of meditation. I mean, I'm sure you realize that, but it's really important. You should always be making something. And if I can do it, I am not an artist. Nobody wants me drawing anything for anyone at any time. It's like there should be a law against it. But I make stuff all the time. Like right now, my art at home is my greenhouse that I'm building because I'm growing ayahuasca.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Are you? Yeah. But I'm growing it successfully, but it has to be done in a greenhouse.
Yeah, it does. It's got that hot temperature.
It's got, because you know that's every winter.
Yep.
They don't make it.
It's like so sad.
And you only need one night like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ayahuasca grows well anywhere as long as you have a greenhouse.
Yep.
And if you're in Florida, then you don't need a greenhouse. I have a few friends who are growing it in Florida very successfully.
I want to go to Peru and grow it.
Yeah, it's a different, you know, my shaman grows the ayahuasca that he uses, and so it's a much different experience when you're working with the tea that has actually been grown by the person who is holding a ceremony.
Isn't the when you're on plants and you grow it, doesn't it take like 14 years?
You can't harvest before 5 years. It's like white sage that way. White sage is 3 years before you, because you'll kill the mother plant, and they actually try never to harvest from the mother plant at all. So it's like 5 years till the mother is old enough, and then her children come, and then ideally you want to harvest from the children. But then that's another 5 years. So I'm going to grow it in Hawaii.
Is that a prelude?
Yeah. But I don't want to take brand new plants there and wait 5 years.
Yeah, you might as well get them established now.
Yeah. And then I just ship them. Whoops, they landed on a plane, and oops, now they're growing.
Oh, they're just
Don't you love my fern? My fern is so beautiful. It's actually legal to ship the plants. It's just not kosher to transport the tea. Plants, fun. Not kosher. Not that that's ever a word that would apply in that case, but it is not. Extra not kosher.
extra not.
Yeah.
Who wants to follow the rules?
I try to follow the rules, but it's really hard, and I forget them.
I'm so good at breaking them.
It is an art form, darling. Okay. I am going to declare myself satisfied because the reality is, you could still be here a couple days from now, and we all could, and we all will be here, a day and a half from now. Okay, I'm declaring myself satisfied. Cheers? It's not ready yet. I don't want to turn it all the way up, but I love it.
We say if anyone else wants to show off their chalice.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. You want to do show and tell? Anybody want to come show your chalice? Come on.
Here, I'll share mine.
Yay.
Okay, where's it at? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, no, there's that way. There we go.
Bring it up closer to the camera.
Okay.
That's gorgeous. Look at that. Look at the energy there. Beautiful. I love it so much.
So this is what I have so far.
Beautiful. Look at that. Wow. That's a container.
Let's see.
Yeah. I love it. Beautiful. The entire thing. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful too.
Mine isn't quite.
I don't think I can go all the way around.
I kind of cheated and did both sides of mine.
Ocean.
I like that.
That's pink.
That's a great picture.
There it is.
So gorgeous. Oh, very pretty. There's a chakra balancing energy to that. I love it. Do you feel it? Yeah, that's really cool. Beautiful. Look at that. Let's see, the rhinestones make it all pop, right? They make it all pop. I love that. So beautiful. Get that. A couple more to show you. It's fun to see, huh? Yeah, everybody's making. That's right, Jessica. Yeah, come on in. Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, where's the?
Up here.
Oh, hi. And then put the little 3.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, because of the hearts.
Go ahead.
That's a neat idea, yeah.
Stone priest. Help me.
I like that too. Did you think to decorate your hearts? That's kind of fun too.
Are we still doing the show?
Yeah, come on in. Love it. I love your jumper too.
Oh, thank you. Can you see it, guys? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
She's actually got a really cute jumper on too. This is like, are you ready to show and tell? Get in here. Danielle's going to show you. Oh, here. I'll got one on too. These are, I call these PJs for ladies because they're very sexy, but they're extremely comfortable. Come on in. Danielle is wearing the latest in adorable rompers. Look how sexy her back is.
They're harem pants.
Yeah. And they have pockets.
My chalice. Ooh, I lost a stone.
Yeah. So it can be fun like that. Beautiful job. Look at Paula.
There it
I love
goes.
to be there. So sweet. Yeah, you gotta get the E6000 a minute. Oh, so good to see you. She's going to show you what she did.
I thought it was still a little wet.
Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautiful. And this is really beautiful too. It almost looks like it was originally part of the chalice, doesn't it? Yeah, that's special.
You did a really good job.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I like that too. It's holding the energy. Yeah, I like that.
Here, hello. Oh, this is harder than I thought it would be. Oh shit.
Yeah, they're looking there. Yeah, there you go.
I look drunk. I'm going.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
She's not.
Not yet.
I love your tank top too. Look at your tank top, how cute that is. Yeah, is it really? Target's coming around. That is beautiful though. On the back, the way you did the point with the four, look at that. The energy of that is really beautiful. Yeah, really, really nice. Come on in. Aww.
Gorgeous.
Look at that coral. There's like a divine fertility, feminine power energy there. Wow.
And then they just did the quartz.
Yeah. That is beautiful. Getting all the kisses. There's more. I'm so excited you guys are going to show them because I think it's inspiring. Look at that. See the rhinestones? What they do?
The rhinestone.
I've got it for you.
Got one going.
This is a super sexy piece of aquamarine. Oh, it is. Yeah. That has to stay on there. That can't be going anywhere. Oh, I like it. Yeah. That's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Oh, it's so, look at that. Now look what she did. The quartz point, and then the bee is on top. That is really stunning. And it's neat because the energy of the four directions is really anchored on that piece too.
And then the herkimer's inside.
Yes. Oh, in there, look at that. She put her herkimer inside. That's smart. Isn't that cool? That's one of the most creative ones I've seen. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, everybody, you know. This is right up our alley. And I kind of love that everybody's sharing a little bit of supplies in the room too. It makes it more special. You know, it's like little gifts. Okay, so let's come back together. It's 12:20. I don't even know how it's 12:20. I can't. I have 5 quartz pieces left over from mine. Does anybody want them? I have aura, I have rose aura, tanzine aura. I've got a little pendant that somebody could tie on from mine with a little. So I'll give them to Claire if anybody wants them. You can have them. Okay. I have a couple pieces of sujolite left over if anybody wants that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me get that. Oh,
Angie Sujolite over here. Going. Sujolite.
What? Sujolite for you! And a sujolite for you! Sujolite Oprah. And you can say. Anybody else? Sujolite? She can laugh? You? Yes. I'm a sujolite-aholic. I've never seen a sujolite I did not like. You are so welcome. Okay. So the last step in sacred crafting, really the two hallmark experiences or intentions that separate sacred crafting from regular crafting is the intention and the activation of the charging. Okay. So let me bring your attention back. A deep breath. I'm having to teach everybody, right, today about breathing and coming back to the breath. Like that is, you get this many, mostly introverted. Some of you are extroverts. I'm an introvert, empath. In room together, we got to learn how to breathe. So because we're all prone to panic and anxiety attacks. So the way to stop that is come back to your breath. It'll always anchor you and bring you back, and will remind you that you're safe and everything's okay. And okay. Now, I want you to hold your chalice in much the same way you would hold it if you were going to be using it. If you can't turn it right side up because it's still drying, I recommend like really let it dry because you don't want your crystals flying away from you. It's good to go over it with your finger one more time. Just push everything down, make sure it's attached. Okay, so hold your chalice in the hand you will usually be holding it in. You don't have to hold it upright though. The Great Spirit, Source, God, Goddess, the one who breathed life into us, the source of all creation, all wisdom, all power at all time. We come before you together, my sisterhood and I, today, to ask for your blessing upon this vessel. We ask that when we drink from this vessel, for as long as we drink from this vessel, first of all, that it connects us across space and time. So not only as you take a sip from this chalice will you be nourishing you, but you're going to be nourishing all of us every time you drink from it. So may we all sip together in whatever time space we find ourselves in. And my next intention is that as we work with this chalice, that it is an anchor for us, that it helps us to be centered, to remember this moment, to help us to release what needs to be released and attract what needs to be received. And we ask that as we work with these as sacred tools, and it holds the element water on our altars as we work with it, that it brings its own energies of release, of transformation, of emotional healing and beauty, and of course energies of creation, new beginnings, by virtue of the activation of the flower of life. And so we ask for these things, these blessings, upon all of the sisters who are gathered here online and in person, and upon all of our tools, all of the crystals that we've used. May this be a tool that serves us well. Amen, aho. And so it is. Cheers, cheers. And so, you know, I have to tell you, like, there's a lot of different crafts we could have done together. This felt like the one that you'll have for a long time. This felt like the one that we all needed. This felt like the one that you would use, right? As opposed to like going home and sitting it on a shelf. So cheers. Cheers. Cheers to you. Okay. And I will make sure these ladies have plenty of fun things to put in that. Cheers to that. I'm going to have to pick up crystals afterward. Okay. So it's lunchtime, and I'm going to, we're all watching Mealtime very carefully because this group needs food. I was explaining, as I think you heard during the opening too, is that eating small meals throughout the day energetically is so much better for you than eating like a big meal. And so taking the time to nourish your body, make sure, because food will keep you grounded. But again, a reminder to everybody, eat smaller meals than you're used to. You'll enjoy the experience more. If you get too grounded, you're going to get tired. Does that make sense? So smaller meals is better for you. I want to thank all of you online for joining us too, because we miss you.
Yeah. We love you.
And we love you. And you're here with us in spirit. I called you in this morning. I called your energy in when I first came into the building. I just sent the invitation that if you wanted to be with us in the space energetically for the next 48 hours, we'd love to have you. So just know you're here with us. And yeah, a lot of you will be here next year. So cheers to that too. Round two. Yes.
Could we please do a shout out and special prayer for Genevieve?
Genevieve, yeah. To Genevieve, Genevieve, we want to just let you know that we are holding you in the space and we love you so much. I think you know that. But we're all holding you. We love you. And we miss you, but you're here with us in spirit. You truly are. Aho. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, cheers, you guys. Cheers, cheers, cheers. So much fun to see you. And we're going to see you again. Got a couple of things happening, and of course, we have full moon tonight. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to go eat. Bye.